Hey folks, Ron Ray here. I am in traffic today. It's the first day back from our winter freeze in Texas. It's sunny and 75 degrees, and a week ago it was 5 degrees. That's Texas weather for you. I was stranded, if you could call it that, in Costa Rica for a couple of days, extra days on a vacation when the flights were shut down. And that sounds really good, and I was kind of kidding with people about it, and then I realized, well, you know, a lot of people back home are having problems, and you know, their houses are freezing and flooding, and they don't have electricity, they don't have water, so I kind of quit kidding about that, and got to thinking on my own, oh my goodness, I wonder what's going on at my house, and started having a little bit of anxiety about it. When are we going to get back? I've got appointments, I've got seminars set up, I don't know what's going to happen. And it caused me to have a little bit of take me back to some of my law enforcement days when I used to teach at the academy, and I taught a lot of the physical stuff like shooting and driving and fighting, and also taught defensive tactics, and a good portion of that was fear management. You know, what we do with fear. You know, police officers, we don't really have the ability to, you know, run away and run away from a bad situation or get out of it. We have to, you know, go towards the danger and take care of business. So I was kind of relating some of that back to insurance and sales and what we do here, and just thinking about, you know, how we all have something that affects us called fear. And it affects all of us, and the biggest difference is how each one of us as an individual handles it. And really, the only difference between a hero and a coward is how you handle your fear. And so we go through this thing called the cycle of behavior with just about everything that we do. It starts out with the scenario that, you know, whatever this task is that you need to accomplish, and then you get in your head and you start running through these different variations of the scenario and how it might turn out, and most of them are not good, and you might run through 5 or 6 different variations of the scenarios, simulations, before you come up with an option that works for you. That's called the cycle of behavior, and it's a complex thing. It's very complex, but it happens in the most primal parts of our brain, and it happens in, you know, micro fractions of a second. And we all go through that, and we go through it in our business as well. Not only, you know, in law enforcement or military where lives are at stake, but actually in business where, you know, our money and our livelihood is at stake, or if making a wrong decision for a client is going to put a client's livelihood and money at stake. So it's a big thing that we have to deal with. And, you know, there's a couple of things, you know, associations that I like to make with that. You know, a lot of this fear comes from false beliefs or false expectations that we have about this task that we have in front of us, and then something else comes with our beliefs or neuro associations. So you know, one example is exercise. Exercise, if done properly, causes pain and soreness, and it's a negative thing, and so therefore, you know, we don't want to do it. Eating healthy food doesn't taste as good as unhealthy food, therefore I don't want to eat it. Picking up the phone and dialing a phone number to a prospect or a cold call often leads to somebody hanging up on me or calling me names or telling me no. That's a negative association that I have with picking up the phone and dialing the number. Therefore, I don't like to do it. Asking for referrals. I'm a big coward when it comes to asking for referrals. But I know that referrals and warm markets is a great way to get business. It's free. It's warm. People already know you. Hopefully they like you, and they're ready to do business with you. But how many times have you asked for a referral and somebody says, you know what, you asked me for a name of a friend that you can help, and because of that, you know what, just cancel this application. I'm not going to do business with you. How often has that ever happened? I bet it's never happened. So that belief that you have, or that I have, about referrals, asking for referrals being a negative thing. That's a false belief. It's not true. It doesn't happen. But yet I have, for some reason, this negative association with for asking for referrals, and therefore I don't like to do it, and therefore I don't want to do it, and I don't do it. So this is something I've had to overcome in my practice, getting over this false belief that asking for referrals is somehow going to have a negative impact on my business. It's the same way with cross-selling. When I first started out selling Medicare and Medicare supplements and Medicare prescription drug plans, I knew there were other products that could be very beneficial to my clients, but I always had this fear that if I asked for too much, I would lose the whole deal. And for years, I didn't. I just sold the Medicare supplement. And then I added in the prescription drug plans because I got over this false fear that, taking AHIP was such a pain in the neck, and I just didn't want to do it. So now I sell and get paid for the prescription drug plans because that was false too. AHIP's no problem. I can take a test and pass it once a year, no big deal. It's not even a financial burden because the carriers or FMOs pay for it. So it's false. So I never did ask for other products like cancer plans and heart attack plans and dental and vision because I had this false belief that it would jeopardize my Medicare sale, which was at the time the most important thing to me. Well, then I talked to a few different people, Justin Brock being one of them, taught me how to bundle the sale and just ask for one bundle instead of for several different products. And first time I did it, they said yes. And the next time I did it, they said yes. And guess what? 99% of the time now, everybody that I sell turning 65 buys a minimum of 4 policies from me. And most of them actually buy 5 or 6. It's not a problem. It's not a negative thing. It's a positive thing. You're doing a better job for your clients. You're doing a better job for you. I have not had one person walk out of a meeting and say no because I recommended they buy some extra insurance to cover some gaps that may be in Medicare for cancer or heart attacks. Nobody has done that. That was a false belief. It was fear. And fear is a natural thing that we all have. It's how we handle that fear, how we deal with it, how we manage it that makes the difference. So that's just my my thoughts for the traffic jam this afternoon. If you've got anything, hey, give me some comments. Let me know. You may think I'm full of bull, or if you've got something to add to the conversation, let's hear it. It's going to be a great conversation, I think. And until next time, until I'm stuck in traffic, be good out there, do the right thing, don't be afraid, just ask for the money. Bye.